Hello from California. And guess what? It's sunny. It's probably sunny and can't tell the weather right now. Oh, wait a minute. Let's look over here on my weather. I'll tell you what now. It's weather. It's, in Hanford. Let's see. It's 49 and sunny, so it'll get up to 63 today. So, I mean, it's a very pleasant day. It's going to start getting on the hot side, which I do not like. So I thought, welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm excited. And a lot of you most of you came over from Rachel at Roxy Creations. And so thank you for coming over. So I'm just a lady who likes to do things, and a lot of times, I don't know, some of us, when we like to create, then what do you do with it after you create it? And it's like sometimes people can't find you on stores or what have you, and you think, why bother? But then in my case, I end up spending a lot of time sitting down just because of the multiple sclerosis. I get it's hard. I get fatigued, and so I've started taking up slow stitching, and that's why, because I spend a lot of time, and I can watch artists online here on YouTube, or I can, well, there's not hardly any TV now. You have to go back and rewatch things, but so I like doing that, and I feel like I'm not productive, and so then I started slow stitching. I started slow stitching because of Rachel at Roxy Creations, and she's the one that got me started on it, because I started watching her a few years ago, and she did a snippet roll, and I did it along with her. I did mine, and so that's why I do them now. And then I'm so thankful for people who even want them. So I just sold one in my shop. Occasionally people will ask me to do one, and I don't mind doing that. It's just I don't want to get backed up because I get nervous about that. You know what I mean? I have to get better at my what's the word? I don't know. There's a word for it, and I can't think of it. But I have to get better at that. So, I don't like to take too many. I have a couple people to answer right now on Etsy, and I will answer you. But I thought, well, I'm going to sit here because you guys are subscribe to me, and I'm going to just talk a little bit and show you what I've been doing. And I feel weird showing some artistic stuff only because everyone else does it so much better. So, Rachel has so many great videos. I don't want to be stealing from her, but I'll show you what I've been doing since I do have subscribers. This is the Dreaded Cookbook. It's not dreaded, but I've been wanting to make this for 2 years. And I just, ever since ever since the kids are gone, because I got MS way in the 80s. So ever since the kids have been gone, I hate cooking. I just hate it. And my husband does all the cooking. I'm happy he likes doing it. I just hate it. I would rather eat a bunch of I would rather eat a bunch of just bad things, whatever's in the kitchen, just not nutritious necessarily, than cook a meal. So I wanted to make this for a dear friend of mine forever. And Johnny had this book in her shop, the Junk Journal shop. It's a smaller book, the original book. And I loved what she did. I thought I need to do that for my friend Carla. So I had bought the book, the actual book, not from Johnny, but I found this book online. I bought it. And, the pages are so brittle, but they're hilarious. It's from the I think it's the late 1800s. And some of the things that are in there, cure for drunkenness, quinine, stuff like that. It's just insane. So, I thought, okay, I'll gut the book and make it out of that. Well, it just was too small, and it couldn't work for me. So then I begged Johnny to make a digital for me so I could just make our normal size books. And I wanted so hard not to make it thick. And look, I've already made it thick. So, and I didn't put a tie on it. I don't know. I hope it's okay. But it's a labor of love for a friend who loves to cook. And, that's just not me. But so this was what the original book looks like. It's I think I have the inside, we can see, look, at $1.50. And so Johnny made a digital out of the whole cover and the spine. So I was excited about that. And so I just think I'll show this for right now. So I went inside. So 1892, I think that says. Can't read. This is what the front was. So I had a really hard time because, cookbooks, I don't, everybody does them so much better, but I know she would want one for me because I've made these big tome books before. And so I thought, okay, so I took apart one of those books we all know that you get when you're married. It's laying around here, that red and white checkered one, Better Homes and Gardens or something. So I took out these pages and tried to arrange them in such a way that they made, things where she can write in it. So I'm just going to go through it. I'm not going to really talk about it a lot. I want to share a bunch of things, but I made pockets here, and these are all from the book, just random things. I mean, you can't even believe some of this stuff. But I want to leave it mostly blank, but then I started putting stuff in there. Look, pickled walnuts. Very good. I mean, who eats pickled walnuts? So it's not really embellished. There's a little bit of how to peel tomatoes because I'm hoping she will get into it. So this is just the Everyday Cookbook. And what did I over fire? Brine that preserves butter for a year or something. Butter a year. I don't know. So I made these little tags out of it. And I used potato snow. I mean, I never really heard of that. There's a lot of... I wanted to go through and get all the hilarious things. And I thought, well, what I'm going to do is give her... Let's see if I have it right here. I'll show you. I want to give her the actual book, the book pages when I'm done, and she can go through it and do stuff. Oh, I wanted to show you the pages. And of course, it's really a mess in here. I'm sure I have it somewhere really smart, but I just don't know where that is. Okay, well, so I have these pages. They're very brittle. Like I said, like this one, I had to put over it some Mod Podge just because it's so brittle. I wanted to have it in here so she knew the book. So let's go back to where we were. So I just kind of put just normal pages that we put in these books. I tried to make little collages that were based on whatever the next, group was there. Rules for eating. And it was on a separate page. And look at how they, different age. I just put it here because it's funny. I just think it's funny. And then a few of these it's just kind of, I know it's narcissistic or something. These things I posted on my Etsy. Or not Etsy. I always say Etsy instead of Instagram. On my Instagram, these, because Rachel had a thing. She's doing a weekly challenge too. And I'm trying to I want to do them all, but she did a kind of the second one or the third one was sort of a more, a journal-y type one. So I didn't do that one. Excuse me, I have my coffee. Anyway, so that's from that. And I just put some of the cards I have in here. She could... But some of these, what I was trying to say is some of these books, I took out of books that were from my kids' high school or something. I'm never going to look at those books. And so a couple of them had my stuff in there, so it's in here. How to choose eggs, see, and how to pickle tomatoes. I don't know, you guys. I just was taken up by some of the stuff in that book. And I bought this from a kit from someone. I guess I should cut that somewhere. From a kit from someone to do it had a vintage looking. This gal loves to go to thrift shops and get vintage things. And so this is up her alley the way this is. So peppermint tea. I had to put that. I drink this all the time. I really love that tea. Here's just stuff from the book and other things that obviously she would know how to do all that stuff. But a little bit of really lame Pam art right there. Let's see, what is this here? This is walnut ketchup. Is that what it says? Yeah. I mean, who makes walnut ketchup? Maybe people do. Anyway, that's right there. She wants to try making that. And I have some old, a lot of the stuff I get is from Johnny at the Junk Journal shop. She has a lot of live sales. And so this was just somebody's old recipe. It's not mine. And I just added it in here. So she knew that this was a pocket. She could add whatever she wants, I'm hoping she knows just take the stuff out. How to make a bird's nest. So, Oh, you guys, there's something in here that has recipe for pigeons, some pigeon soup or something, and then how to make the bird nest to put the pigeon in. I mean, it's just amazing to me. How to break up a cold. It's in there. And I made a tag. So I think this came off of a wallpaper or something I got from Johnny's sale, so I just stuck this cow on here. So, how to choose meat, in case you don't know. And just some fun Johnny's paper. I should have made it less again, but I'm hoping it'll be okay for her. I don't know, it's done now. Items worth remembering. A sun bath, what does it say? A sun bath is more worth than much warming by the fire. Books exposed to atmosphere keep in better condition than if they're in a bookcase. I'm not sure that's true. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff. Those ungrateful habits. This book cracked me up. Don't stoop. A whole thing here about, I think I read this to you in one of the videos already. Don't stoop, people. Oh, here's I was in this book, Parmesan chicken. This was my daughter's favorite recipe when she was at home. So I was in the book. Put that in there. It's kind of, what do you call that when you're into yourself? I don't know what that word is. Another lame Pam art, but right there. Oh, here it is. Pigeons in jelly, y'all. You're not going to get this anywhere else, I don't think. Pigeons in jelly. Wash and truss 1 dozen pigeons. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. You're down pretty low. I'll tell you what, I have a lot of pigeons here. This could work if we need to know this. I see I'm giving away the secrets. How to toast water. Now, I thought that was something. So, I mean, book is just incredible. It's filled with stuff like that. And I don't know if you remember, like at some stores, you could get these pamphlets in their different departments where they had recipes and serving suggestions. Years ago, this was from Albertsons. I don't know if Albertsons is a store still, but I put one of those leaflets in here because it's the meat, I think. So I'm in, oh no, I'm 1 casserole, 1 dish meal, so. Obviously liked this one, or someone liked it. I must have. Here's another one of mine, vegetable rice casserole. In one of those books, so I just put it there. And this is, I think this might have been one of Rachel's things too, one of her things. So I made it here, right here, and then I put one of the pages from the book. I made a little thing out of it so she can write in it if she wants or take it out. Actually, there's a lot of space. If you take out some of the things I put in here, then it wouldn't be quite so bad. And she puts her own things in here, you know. So these are just pages. I'm not trying to do a whole flip through. I was just showing. I want to share other stuff I'm into right now. And then chocolate chip. This was also from Johnny's stuff. Someone actually typed out. I really would like a typewriter, an old typewriter, but someone typed out the recipe, or 2 people did. Chocolate mousse and chocolate chip cookies. So, and caramel custard. It was another one. Most of these papers. I think this is that paper I showed a few videos back from Hobby Lobby that was amazing to me. Right there. Okay, and then this is chamomile tea. I love this. I always love Celestial Seasonings artwork on their tea boxes. So here's another one. A sponge, just has to do with you know, desserts. So I put that in there. This is the one that came also Christmas chocolate. I don't know, Roos. Look, it's in pencil. And then apple truffle. Then I like this because I put the special help section in just because I thought there was a lot of funny things she could write in here of what have you. How to get the best values. Look at this beautiful paper from Rosemary at the Rusty Peacock, I believe it is. That's super. Let me turn this off over here. Let's go back to here. No. Just beautiful eco printed papers. So that was one. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. Just gorgeous. So this is the book I'm going to give my friend. So, and this is Convulsion Fits, What to Do About It. Somewhere in here, I don't know where it ended up. I have to find that. I guess it's in here. Did I pass it? And it tells you oh, here it is. This is the cure for drunkenness is quinine. I mean, I don't know. The breath. Nothing makes one so disagreeable to others as bad breath. It's caused by bad teeth, diseased stomach, or disease in the nostrils. Neatness and care of one's health will prevent and cure it. So anyway, that's right there. So I finally finished this. I just got to get it off to her. She doesn't know I'm doing it. It's a surprise. So that I'm happy to be done just because it's been a weight on me for 2 years. I wanted to do it and I just haven't. So there, that's done. I'll be right. I'm just going to show you what else I've been doing. What's in here? Oh. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about my snippet rolls because I've gotten quite a few questions. So here's a lot of the different spools I have. Most of them I find on, these I found, and they're not inexpensive. It can be pretty, they're kind of, they're kind of costly. And I usually don't charge much for my snippet rolls, and I probably should charge more because the things I put into them is very costly. But I enjoy doing it, and if people want it, I kind of want to sell them because otherwise I'm stuck with a ton of snippet rolls. But so anyway, so these are, I don't think these are necessarily old, but they're wider and they're kind of nice. I talked about them before. I just did one on one of these ones that are beveled. I have a few of these, not a lot, but that turned out really cool. So I'm not unhappy with those at all. And then these are the cute ones. I think these two I might have got on Etsy, I think. And I shared some with another gal who needed some spools, but I'm almost out of the kind of fun character ones. I like the red ones. I was really drawn to that red snippet roll I just did. So there's my spools. Okay, let's see. What else did I find? Okay. I was watching, because I'm doing the Ann Brooke challenge, the hashtag 52. So it's 52 tags a week, and she gives you whatever the parameters are. I think 1 week it was white. 1 week it was... One week white, 1 week kiss, so which was like an X. 1 week some fly stitching. You can go back. You probably, it's not that late. I think you can start anytime you want. You have to start in January. But I saw that she had this little iron. Look at this. So I bought this. I'm so excited because I had a big one. This will be perfect with my little that you've already seen. Oh, look, we can leave it here. And my little mat here for because some things you have to iron, little things like this last one, she did a hexie, and you really need to iron. Let's try this. I'm going to be my husband now, keys or whatever. You really need to iron the little hexies the way she did it. And it was really cool because it was like an inverted way that I've never done before. And I thought, oh, this is neat. So super fun. Oh, look, see, fabric. What can I do with this fabric? This is how I get weird fabrics all the time. Okay, so go like this. Look at this, you guys. Okay, so here's the little thing about it. I got this on Amazon. I think I just searched. Well, this one's called the Steam Fast. I think how I searched for it was Crafter's Mini Iron or something, but this is what I got. So it's trash. You should see my room with all the trash in it. This is trash. Okay. Because I try and hit my trash can. This must be to fill it, so that's super cute. And this is trash. Okay. Oh, look how adorable this is, you guys. I hope someone's watching. Look how cute this is. Oh, my. I'm so excited about this. So, yes, I got this. So this was something I just got. I'm going to share with you guys what I've been doing. Why not? And I had a question about what kind of fabric I use for the back of the snippet roll. So right now I'm working on a snippet roll for Lori B at Journal Market, and I've purchased a couple of her journals before. And so I'm making her a snippet roll. And I wanted to show you my train of thought. Okay. Oh, here it is. So I wanted to show you this. So I'm started this. So this is hers that I've started. And what I'm using for inspiration, number one, she likes blue. She gave me some colors she likes and gold. And she sent me, I told her, if you have anything special you would like to put in there on the snippet roll, then let me know, because I will work that in. It'll be kind of special. So she sent me some things from her mom. Like, this was one of her mom's favorite dresses, and she cut it and sent it to me. So I'm going to use this, you know, for accents in the snippet roll. So like I use some of it right here. But I thought, well, this is great, because I knew her. Other people I don't really know that well, but I knew her, and I said, well, give me some things. So she sent me this and some buttons. I have them somewhere. I'm not to the button stage, but I wanted to answer. So what I like to use is a heavy, I've tried to use like the batting, the little quilting, not batting, but the quilting cotton, you know, for real hand quilting when you do that. But it's hard for it to maintain the shape. At least for me it was. Sorry, I have to take a drink. So this is something, well, actually this one, I took a piece from this. It's all washed and everything, but it was a bank bag. I think I got this on one of Johnny's sales as well. And so I just tear strips, and I hope to get it right. I measure it and then try and get it right, and it usually turns out pretty good. And if I think it looks like about the size, I'll do it. I'll tear it this way, you know, like this way here. Get the long ways. And that's I think that's what I started with this one. Let's see. So this is a little bit longer than that. So I must have had another piece or something that was a little, or maybe I started earlier there. I don't know. But so we'll see. This will probably fill it up, the snippet roll. Because, you know, you go around and see, and if it, like, so, like, let's go around right now. So see, this will fill it up really good. In fact, it's probably too much, but I don't think she'll mind. I could cut it off here, but there's a couple more pieces I think I want to put on. So, yeah, so that's what I do. So I pick a cotton like this. I think it's, I don't even know what it is. I think it's some sort of, what did I just search it on? Oh, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know. So this is, so I just started hers. What I do is I get the strip, and then I start adding, these are the backgrounds for what I'm going to do. So I start adding things that I want to add on there. And, you know, sometimes when I'm done, you don't even see these. I want to see some of these. So like this, Lori does a lot of really cool, really grungy old stuff. So this is an old piece of, I just recently got those huge, I don't know if any of you watch Johnny's Junk Journal shop sale. She had huge ledgers recently. So I got one or two of those. And the spine, I took it apart because I wanted the papers. And the spine, a little bit of this came off, and it's sort of, is like leather. And I liked this edging here, and this went perfectly with what she likes, her colors. So I thought, well, I'm going to put this on here. And yeah, I rinsed it and washed it because, you know, it was a spine. But I think it'll look, I hope I don't cover all of it up, but who knows what I do. So I like, so this is what I'm doing. So this was the, like I said, the inspiration. And I'm going to put more of this around because I want it to be a little more prominent than just like this. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but somebody asked me that question, and so this is what I like to use. This kind of, I don't know if it's muslin, but it's a heavy fabric. I wish I had a way to explain it, but it's a heavy, like I said, it's this bank bag, or to show this other one. I got this the other day from somebody. I don't know who. See, this is the thing. I get all these things. Let's put this right here. So like this is a baloney bag apparently, but see, this is great to use in my sewing. So I might not want to use all of this because I might want to use this in the sewing. This would be cool, right? Like you could put it on the snippet roll like this with just that. But so I would probably cut this or tear it some way. I might want to save this part here because it's really interesting. And then, yeah, and then use this. I would have to wash this one first. But so this is the kind, see, because it's a nice thick muslin-y fabric. So that's what I use. So someone asked that. So then I was showing you my little technique here. I take little pieces of things I want to add on there that I think adds character. So like this is a super old piece from from Rachel, from one of Rachel's rolls that when you buy her fabric packs, this was in there, she told me this was super old. I don't know if she said 1800s. I wish I could remember. I have to write down what people say to me, but it's super old and it's like velvety feeling. I wanted that in here because she likes blue. So, and I bought several of Rachel's packets, so I have quite a bit of this. So I'm not hoarding that. And then, and so I just pick fabrics I think that I like or I think would look nice. Like I love this fabric here, the blues and greens. This is the last snippet roll I made. I was done with a few of the requests. So I did that red one, and I just loved that one. I thought it was really great. So that's how I picked this. And then so I do one layer that's like that. I'm almost done with this one. I have to put another couple things on here like this, I think, or decide it's too long. But there was a couple other things I want to put on here. So, you know, I'll either have to try and curb myself, maybe go, because it seems like it's pretty full already. And you have to take into consideration that you're going to add stuff on top of this. And so it will get thicker. And then you're going to put a backing on it. So this will overflow the roll as well. I guess I should ask Lori, if you watch this, tell me if you care about that. Okay, so there's that. I've been doing this. This is what I've been doing right now. Okay, so the 52-week challenge from Ann Brooke, Textile Artist. You can find her here. I love this challenge because, like I said, I have to sit a lot, and especially in the morning when I wake up, I can't wait for her Friday because she puts it up, I see it, and I do one just because I love it. And then I was really discouraged with myself because I didn't do what Rachel did, and I'll show you right here. I had the other little ones, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the little ones. Don't get me wrong. So I bought the ones that Anne uses. No, I don't know where they went. Oh, right here. So I bought these, and I was using these at first. And I like them. I even started doing where I was covering them like this. Because, you know, I didn't really... But then I kept looking at Rachel's. And so what Rachel did was she took some of those 12 by 12. If you go to, I think it's Roxy Creations, go to her YouTube channel and go back a few weeks, and you'll find where she made these tags. And I thought, I love that because, I don't know, it's just so much more inspiring. So, and she used the 12 by 12 pieces of paper we get from some of our pads that we don't especially like. And she uses those and collages over them, cuts them up, and makes tags. So I regretted that. So last week I spent a whole day and made those tags. And I took off what I put on these tags here. I took it off and I put it on here. So the first, let's see, where are they here? So they turned out really gorgeous. I mean, look, I put all my favorite papers that I really liked. So that this is something where, you know, I don't think people understand. My granddaughter goes, why are you doing this? I said, it's because you get to do something creative, and you know, the idea is to keep them and to just have something you can look back on and enjoy, sort of like the snippet rolls. So I already had one person on Etsy Instagram say, and she's my friend, she moved to Montana, and she goes, okay, so the one that was the heart one that I did, she goes, I want this one, and it's my birthday, and you should send it to me. I said, okay. But the idea is that you kind of keep them for yourself. At least that's what most people are doing. So, yeah, so I'm doing this. I copied Rachel with this, and I'm so much more happy. And so then, yeah, I had to do another one to make up for the one I sent to my friend. But yeah, and you get to put your buttons on there that you really love, stuff that you want to keep, that you want to make sure you don't give them all away. You know what I'm saying? And use some of the papers you really like. I get some of these papers from Rachel, and I just love them. And, you know, you want to use them, but at the same time, you want to keep it too, and it just sits there. So I really like doing this, these are some of my favorite ones, the browns and the blues. So anyway, so that I'm doing these tags. So then when I made these, I had some left over. So I started when I'm sitting down there, if I don't want to, if the cats are bothering me, which is a lot. So I have some extra like of these. So I thought, well, what I will do is I'll just make tags. So like this one, this will be a surprise, but if she watches it, it won't be a surprise. But this is going to be a tag I'm going to send with this snippet roll I'm working on, because it has her mommy's fabric on there that I did some stitching on. So I really like that. Some beads in there. You have to re-stitch those. But I have extra ones. So I've been sitting there in the mornings watching you guys' YouTubes, and then I'll do some of these tags that I can send with some of my other things I make. So I have several of them. I just don't know. They must be in this basket. So see, she sent me a bunch of buttons too here that I want to incorporate some of them into her piece, because these were from her, either they're her buttons or from her mom's buttons. I can't remember. But so it's kind of fun. It's the first time I've ever done one that's sort of personalized for someone like that. So I'm kind of excited about that. So then as far as see, I want to put some of this, let's take this off. I bought this from, I forget the shop. I really love this shop too. I forgot to, I want to put some of this on there because look at this fabric, so pretty. It might be wide enough for the backing. So I like this. I buy these from shops on Etsy, and I'm sorry that I forget what shop it is. Oh, I feel really bad about that. But yeah, so look, I could use this for the backing. Really pretty, right? So I have this. So see, I have this fabric I wanted to incorporate. And there was something else. I have another one in here. This one too, it's a nice, this is from the same shop. I guess I should figure out this shop. I don't know if you guys can hear my Serenity bell that's ringing. But my dear friend, Marty, and she's been in the hospital with COVID, and she's been on a ventilator. But I think she came off the ventilator, but is having she's going to have to go to physical therapy, I think. But that's what's bonging. She gave me this big bell for Christmas. It weighed 40 pounds. And it makes this, it's called a Serenity bell. It makes this bongy sound. It's outside, and see if you can hear it. Did you hear it? You might not be able to. Anyway, it's going on outside right now because it's a little windy. And then there's this fabric too. See, I wanted to use this. It looks like it's same shop. Look at, they give you little extra fun things. This could also be the backing. So I want to incorporate these two things somehow. I love this kind of stuff. I try and buy it wherever I can because it goes so fast. But this stuff here, and I forget what it's called, but I love cutting out these little flowers and things to put around. Like, look, here's a butterfly. In fact, I think I did I can't find, I just did a bunch of tags and I put them somewhere so they were safe. Oh, here they are. Yeah, they were safe over there in that pile. So, of the extra stuff. But look, a little butterfly I put on there. Is it the cutest thing ever? So that was out of here. There's a little butterfly. So if I try and find this stuff, look at this cute one. Made a little flower. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. So anyway, I love this stuff. And if you, I don't even know what it's called. It had a weird name somewhere. I found it on Etsy. If someone knows, put it in the comments. But I love this because I love these flowers. They make beautiful. They're old. It's old, and it makes beautiful embellishments on top. So then what I do on the snippet rolls, I will come around. So like here, I put one on top of here. I did not like how this was turning out. And I thought, well, I'm going to put other stuff on top of it so that I can tone down what's happening there. And so, so then once I get all this part on, I will embellish it. Like I'm going to embellish this little bird right here. And I'll probably put a button for us because I think she likes that. I'm going to ask her what she wants on here. But so then I embellish it with things like this, or really dainty. If you have a really dainty fabric that you see through, that sort of you can bunch it up and then do stuff on top of it. So that's how I treat that. Do you guys care about this? I guess if you don't care, you don't watch, right? So this is more the same kind of stuff like this. So I love this stuff. Some of these are a little bit too big, like this. If you look at this here, See, that's a little bit too big for this. It might be able to get one on there. But you just have to decide what you're doing with what you want to do. So there's that. So I love this kind of stuff. I scour for it, and I wish I knew the right name. I know there's Battenberg lace, but that's different than this, and I use that if I find it. But I love these kind of things like that. So here's another one I just got. So, but this, sometimes it's hard to see how big it is. So like this guy right here, that's a little bit big there, but all this fun snippage here is really good. So, and these little flowers and that little butterfly guy or whatever he is, part of a flower, I think, sideways. So there's a lot of cute elements I can put on the snippet roll from here. And then, of course, donuts and stuff, or donuts, what are these called? Suffix puffs or donuts, or, so those can go in there. So, then I want to incorporate this in there, too, because she likes the gold. And this is from Rachel, and it's so pretty, but where's her snippet roll? I'm hoping I'm not running out of space. I might be able to. See, this is why it ends up being too thick. So I think, oh, I want this, I want this. Well, now this could maybe go on here like this. I hate to lose the leaves, but, that's what happens. Then what I do with some of the extra, so if I cut these leaves off, then I will use that in some of these other little snippety things. Like I just was working on it. Like this was a snippety thing I put together. Or this was some leftover snippety things. So, yeah, see, I have to put this on, I'm pretty sure. Oh, man, I'm getting too long now. That's what happens. Or this, see, I got this, and I thought, I need to put this on. I hope you watch this, Lori, so I can ask you what you want. Oh, see, look at that's beautiful. But you have to be careful, because I could cut this out and put it on top of something. Because when you start layering, then you end up losing some things. So you don't want to lose everything. Some things you don't mind losing, and some things you don't want to lose. So I have a lot of things like that. And then you do the hexes and stuff on top of it. See, like this is a beautiful little gauzy thing. This would look really pretty. Which way is it? I have to put on magnifying glasses sometime to see which way it really goes. I think it's, but so like you could gather this. I could gather this up on here, something like this. And just do some poofy stitches around, and then, make my little button garden over here. So I have a whole basket over here of stuff with this stuff in it that I'm not sure what I want to do. But I'm getting to the end, so I got to figure that out. Anyway, I'm so weird. So there's that. I'm trying to think of what else I've been doing to show you guys. I want to say that I'm really appreciative to everyone that has subscribed to me. I don't even know what to say about that. It's so amazing. I think I'm going to stop and I'm going to go get the snippet roll I did for myself. It was the very first one I ever did, which inspired me. And it's a funny thing is I've gotten more, I don't want to say crazy. What's the word? I've gotten more eclectic and more bold with putting just things in places. This one I'm going to show you, it's big. And it was when Rachel was doing hers that she showed. And it's super, super duper big. But it seems more orderly to me. So I'm going to go get that. Be right back. So here's mine. Look how big it is. It's really wide this way. Trying to see if I have a... I have this guy now. So let's see. This guy is... See, this is 4.5 inches wide. And it's tall. It's... 3.5 inches tall. It's funny, it's as tall as these other ones, but it's so wide, I guess, and thick. Yeah, this way. So when I bought it, I didn't know it was going to be like this. The first spool I ever bought, and I didn't know that these other kind existed. So it's huge, and I could have filled it up more, but I didn't. And now, the funny thing now is that I have so many more things I'd like to add on here, but I think it's a hassle. I don't want to do it all. So I don't want to mess this one up. So you'd have to, do stuff. Anyway, so I'll show you this one. So this is the very first one I ever did. And I just look at it. I love it. I use the end. I don't have any more of these, please. I wish I had more of these old. This was an old grain sack, and this was the corner of it. And so I put them on here. I just love them. Old fabrics here. But do you see how much more order? To me, it's orderly. I didn't really put things on top of each other. Look at this button. This is why I can give some of the things away. Rachel goes, how can you part with it? And I like, because I keep some things that I really like, and I want to bless other people, because what can I do with them all? So look at this. Look at this was from Rachel, and I love these little flowers, and I can't find any like it, and I think she's pretty much out of them. She sent them in one of her things, and I love those. But see, like this here, I think now I see it's all orderly. Got the orderly pistol stuff, and I think my Australian friend sent me this, and I wanted to keep the bird because I love birds, so I just did a little bit of stitching on top of it, like a moon or some kind of weird blue moon, because, oh, once in a blue moon, look, he's out there with the blue moon. And then I just made that part up and did some stitching there. Donna over at Believe Cottage Craft, she sent that to me. And just these things like this, just pretty, pretty, pretty. So this one's my personal one, but you can see, if you can tell, I've really evolved on how I do it. So I'm excited about that. My cat's breaking into the room. Oh, see, I don't have any more of this. I love that. So, and the back is the red. So yeah, I could put more on this, but I don't. Oh, look at that. I like how that turned out. So the ones I make now I think are much more eclectic, where they just sort of they all go on top of each other, and it's like they're all friends every single little area. So it's funny how you evolve. Maybe I'll get another spool and make just one for myself, because there's many things now I want to just keep also for myself. I want to, I share them, but I also want to keep them for myself, some of them. So I'm going to have to maybe make another one for myself sometime. I guess if something doesn't sell in my shop, I'll keep it. Anyway, so I'm going to go have a bagel with my husband, and I might come back. Okay, I'm back. I had my bagel. And so I think I'm pretty much done talking. I don't know, you guys, probably long. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on tags, the extra tags I have, so I can put them in any of my orders that I get. And because that's relaxing to me, so I have a few left here. I might even make more of these, because these are really nice. I find, you evolve. So I started when I became disabled, when I became disabled, which means I wasn't going out to work anymore. Like the MS was affecting me so much that I couldn't be consistent in my job. So I do most of that at home now that I did, but I do it as a volunteer. It's for the church. So I do it as a volunteer. So I still do that stuff, but when you're home, like, what are you going to do, And especially now with all the, we're still of course, they're recalling our governor, so I don't think people can take it anymore, but I don't go much places anyway, but because I am so compromised with my immune system that I don't do that. So, but a lot of people, you're supposed to be, if you have any, I've known several people that had COVID. It wasn't a big deal, but they ended up, you have to be quarantined X amount of days and all this stuff, and you have to be retested. And so there's a lot of rules. We're not so bad in the Central Valley, because the police think most of the rules that the governor's trying to impose are ridiculous. So, I'm not talking about masks and stuff like that. I'm talking about them wanting to close down businesses. I don't know how businesses can survive, because they need customers, and if, what has this been going on, a year or almost a year? You can't, you have to be able to have, you have to have your businesses open, but that's a whole nother thing. I'm not into, I don't get into that. But so since then, this was a trail of thought, and I forgot. Look, I'm going to put this on here, I think. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put that on there, because I don't really like that white spot right there. Let's do it right now. I'm going to do it right now. Where's a glue book? I am so insane, aren't I? Wait, here's my glue book. And where's he at? Because see, this just came up, and look how cute it is. Make sure I get it going the right way. I'm going to put this on there, because I like this one, but I don't know what happened. I think part of the paper that was on there was just white. It was just, I should have been more conscious of that. So I can just sort of put this guy on here like that. Look, I had a craft moment. Okay, and I don't have my card right here, so I'll just use this like this. Okay, there we go. Look, now I like it better. I don't know what I was saying. But anyway, so this is a video just to say thank you to everyone who's subscribing to me. That makes me happy. I don't really make lots of videos, but maybe I'll make some more now. You know, I don't want to redo what other people do so well. Do you know what I mean? So most of what I do like the tag. I guess I could do the tag videos. I don't know. Anyway, so I want to thank everybody. I definitely need to come up with a giveaway, don't I? And I just can't believe all the outpouring of love. So thank you, Rachel, for your video. I was just excited to see if you liked what I sent you. I sent you Sanderson fabric because I know you like that. You seem to talk a lot about that. So I had found some and I bought some and I thought, well, I'll send you some of this. And so, and I covered the back with some Sanderson fabric and the blue, because I know you like blue. And, you know, I guess I'm just saying thank you and showing you what I've been doing. And now I have to go and do some of my bookkeeping that I do for the church, pay some bills and stuff like that. So I have to get moving here, and I'm excited to get to know a lot of you, and I hope you're safe and well and happy. The virus is no joke, really. I mean, like I said, my friend got it at the beginning of February. She's been in the hospital on a ventilator. And as far as I understand, she was on it for several weeks, and now she's off of it. But it's hard for her to talk. There's a lot of recovery that happens. She's going to have to go to a rehab facility, I think. So that's really, because she's one of the most active people. She is my Big Fat Cuban Family, if you happen to run across that anywhere. I'm sure she has a YouTube. She shows stuff about cooking. She has a blog that's very active. She's even been to the White House and stuff. She's been invited to lots of things because of her blog or her footprint online. And so she's been terribly sick, and she's been one of my friends for the longest time. I mean, I think since we were 17. I mean, I'm pretty old. But since she's older than me, a year older than me. But old as Disneyland. How's that? Because she was born, I think I'm 1 year younger than Disneyland. That's how her and I always gauge everything, Disneyland years. But yeah, so she was hit really hard. And one reason I'm more quarantined is that I have asthma and a lot of breathing. Whenever I get, because of the disease modifying drugs I'm on, that suppress the immune system in order to slow down the progression of the disease. Because of that, I really have no immune system. And so, you know, when I get colds or flus, I get really sick. So I'm really conscious about getting the flu shots every year and all of that, you know. Yeah, so that's, so I'm sort of careful about going out or going around people, because a lot of people I know have gotten COVID, and 100%, pretty much all of them have recovered except for my best friend Marty, who's had a really hard go of it. So, and I'm really sorry to all of you that are in this terrible winter snowstorm. I mean, I make fun of all the snow or all the sunshine in California, but I'm sure all of you would rather have that. And I'm really sorry about that. I hope things go well. I hope you get safe. I hope you go somewhere where you can be warm, and you can, you know, make lemonade out of lemons. If something happens where you can't, like in my case, I can't do this or that, I'll sit down and do this, and at least I'm creative. At least I feel like I'm creating something, and I'm thinking at least somebody wants it. So that's nice. That makes me happy. So anyway, you guys, thanks so much, and I can't wait till the next time I have something to share, and I'll see you soon. Bye.